Welcome to The Divide with Mike and Corey, two diehard baseball fans who don't agree on anything. Which side will you choose? This
Welcome to
is The Divide.
with Mike and Corey.
That's your boy Todd Frazier.
Hey guys, I'm Julie Stewart Banks.
Hey, what's up? This is Cliff Floyd. You can catch me on The Divide.
You can catch me on The Divide on Fox Sports The Gambler.
Hopefully our disagreements one day bring us all together. So stupid. So corny. And so I hope our disagreements bring us together. Yeah, I do. This is The Divide.
And there it is. Welcome to The Divide, everybody, on Fox Sports The Gambler, 102.5 Philly, 104.1 Trenton. What a week, bro.
It needs to end.
It's about to, which is good.
God.
But my God, man. I feel like it's been a month, first of all, since we've been on air.
Yeah, it feels like that. It definitely does. Like, I feel like it's been, dude, I have not had a day off. Feel like I'm losing my voice.
Well, I mean, let's think about it, right? So we were on air last week, and then you had probably a crazy weekend at work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you jumped in the Powers parlay on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Watch party, the Sixers watch
Wednesday.
party on Wednesday. And now you're back. You had a day off Thursday. and now you're
Somewhere in
back here.
between that, I worked and also coached.
Oh, that's
softball.
right. You coached off. That's right.
So, oh my God, dude, I need a nap, a very long nap.
I don't know how these celebrities do it. And they go out nights on end.
I don't know how Brace and Buster do it. They
why
bounce
I
right
know.
back, making content the next day after that watch party. But dude, so much fun. You got to get to one. We're gonna be doing more with the Gambler, with Q102. It was just cool, man. Shout outs to Ty and Germ for just being them and helping us create that amazing concept with the Buster and Sean Brace, program directors for Fox Sports and Q102. It's just it's so much fun. It's great to get all these Philadelphia influencers all in the same room watching this party. I mean, everybody has a crazy cult following that's sitting on that couch, and it's just so cool to get all these different, and it's cool to see what we're building, and being a part of it. So it's absolutely fun.
It's also awesome too, because I mean, like Wednesday's game was not. If you're a Sixers fan, was
it was
nothing to really
brutal.
brag about. It was
Yeah.
kind of
They
it was
made it
awful.
fun, man.
But the
Yeah.
watch party made it fun.
Big time,
So,
big time.
God, it was a lot better than watching my Devils play Wednesday night. That's for sure.
Yeah, like my argument with that is I feel like they were a little hungover,
Who, the Devils?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they
from-
were
from
definitely
everything.
tired. Well, you could say the same about the Sixers too, man. I
Right,
mean,
right.
you had a huge win, game one, and then a couple days later, it's back to reality, or at least back to the draw. I don't want to say reality, but back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Game 3 coming up tonight, and they're home. So, there's a lot of questions. Like, obviously, it was two different games. It felt like it was two different teams. It was a much slower team, game 2 for the Sixers.
Right.
And Embiid was back, but obviously he's injured. So he's hobbling around. Didn't score many points. His defense was still sick. Absolutely sick. The guy's a gem. Shout out to him for winning MVP. Go to the Give Us a Shot Network. We do have our MVP shirt.
Oh yeah.
MVP shirt that Ty designed, and all you Sixer fans could go to www.giveusashot.network and pick up that shirt today in our shop. It's an awesome looking shirt, and maybe you can wear it to the next Sixers live party. We'll see tonight, man. It's gonna be it's two different games, two different outcomes. Game 2 was what Jansen kind of predicted for the Sixers, was like, hey, this could easily happen against Boston. So it kind of put the fan base in fear, even though they stole a game. And even in any game 7, whether it's hockey or baseball or basketball,
Right.
when you're not the home team, you're trying to steal one, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the game
Yeah.
plan.
So,
And
hey,
so-
listen, they're back to 0 right now. It's
Yeah,
1-1. It's
exactly.
nothing
Best
to
of
panic
5.
about. And you got the 2 home games. You got tonight, and then you also have Sunday as well. So, I mean, look, there's literally nothing to panic about when it comes to 7-game series for any sport. That's why I like the 7-game series.
I'm panicking because they asked us Bankroll to come back for game 7 if there's a game 7.
Oh, that would be awesome.
It's Mother's Day. Oh, that's not that.
Ooh. Hey, hon, you know how you always like basketball and
Yeah.
gambling?
But also, my
Um,
wife's in Texas, so for iHeart.
hold on a second. Then what's
For
the problem
iHeart.
there, buddy?
No, I have a daughter.
Oh, wow.
Peyton, go get Buster another martini. Martini
Oh.
count was
Did
high.
you hear there was like a McDonald's that got busted? Not that Peyton's 10 years old. I mean, almost. But did you hear that there was like a McDonald's that got busted for
and another reason why they should be unionized.
for,
McDonald's. I worked my
two
butt off.
10-year-olds working till like 2 a.m.? I
I
forget
just-
where it was, or it was like
Yeah.
somewhere in the Midwest or something like
We
that.
should go. Yeah, find the location. Go on McBroken.com
and see if the ice cream
and
machine
see
is
if
working.
those kids could get the ice cream.
Oh, I
machine
bet you that
working.
ice cream
I bet
machine
it
is working.
was.
Absolutely. Those kids are probably working for ice cream. They
Yeah.
weren't paying them.
Yo,
10
man,
years
shout
old.
out- Yeah, but whoa, running the cash register. First off, second off, they were, even one time, or they were trained on the fryer, so they even knew how to use the fryer. They're 10 years old.
In Louisville. Good old Louisville.
No,
Two
great.
10-year-old
Yeah.
children found working at a Louisville McDonald's restaurant, sometimes until 2 a.m.
That's insane.
My God.
Crazy.
Can you imagine? You know what? If it's 1:30 a.m. and you're in a McDonald's drive-thru, chances are you're not in the right state of mind, so
Yeah.
to speak. Could you imagine how crazy pulling up at 1:30 and seeing a 10-year-old at the cash register?
Oh,
You're like, I don't know who I got
You
this
just-
this stash from, but I got to go back. It is
you
crazy.
just drive yourself right to a police station and be like, whatever I did.
Yeah.
Please.
I know, this is crazy. I didn't think I was this bad. Like, my God, man. And it was like
Oh.
it was a part of a whole investigation into like child labor law violations in the Southeast. And then they came across two 10-year-olds. Unreal.
Yo, I had a
Uh,
paper route. Like, that sounds like cliche, but
At
I really
10
did.
though?
I
Really?
really did. I really did. I was a hustler, man. I was selling my cards, like baseball cards and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
and
dude, like,
Pokemon cards.
Selling stuff and like
Yeah.
bartering is one thing, but like
Mhm.
these kids at 10, you can't be on a payroll, right? I thought isn't the
No,
minimum age
yeah.
to work like 14 or
Dude,
15 years old?
It was the Beacon Times in Barnegat, New Jersey, I swear. And I
The
was
Beacon
getting,
Times.
dude, I was getting like
That doesn't even
I
sound
was getting
real.
a nickel a paper, and then I had to go collect it. And then a lot of the times I didn't feel like collecting it, so my mom just wrote a check for like $23. I was like, "How much did I make?" She was like, $4.
Oh my
And it was a weekly
God.
paper. And then the one guy was like, I walk up to these guys' house and I'm like, yo, you're delinquent for 3 months. How much do I owe you? $375.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah.
over my dead body, 10-year-old.
Could you imagine I put him in collections?
Oh,
that'd
dude,
be
for
great.
375. It
Tries
says
to buy
here,
a house.
bro.
I can't.
Yeah, we'd love you to sign on the dot for the
Yeah,
mortgage, but
but-
something's holding. You got a lien on your house. Says here the 10-year-old children were employed but not paid. Like, is this a franchise owner's kids then? Franchise?
Mhm.
I don't know, man. Hold on. Says the two 10-year-olds allegedly employed were they're children of a night manager who were visiting their parent at work, and they weren't approved by the franchise organization to be in that part of the Oh man, why don't you put that stuff up front in the article? I had to go all the way to the bottom of this juicy.
Mm.
And so they were just there. It was bring your kid to work day, but it was every day until 2 a.m. That's all this was.
Speaking of
CNN.
we glanced past it, but there will be other it's going to be up on the socials, up on podcasting. But Sunday, I had a different Corey. His name was Urban Fryer.
I heard.
Yeah,
I know.
We're at Island Smoothies in Tom's River. Shout out to Vincent Capriati. He's an awesome dude. He gives away $1 every smoothie he sells to some amazing organizations. And we all came out and we enjoyed his grand opening together. It was a rainy day, but it was all sunshine, man. That sounds corny, but it was a fun day. And Peyton was running around that place selling smoothies and doing whatever she could do. You would think she owned the place. It was awesome.
Get on the payroll.
So thank you, Vincent, for opening your doors to us. We had a blast, man. Absolutely. And we went right next door and obviously got the best wings in New Jersey.
Oh, dude, his wings are
wings
so
and
good.
things. Yeah.
His
So
wings are
so good. I gotta try. We gotta do some sandwiches there next time, because he's got some amazing concoctions, and I just always forget to do it because the wings just take us away.
They really are. And dude, and
Mhm.
he makes it just fresh out of the oven. They really are. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out if this ice cream machine works. We're gonna have to do that during the break. I'm gonna figure out if the ice cream machine works. Let's get. I know Philly, New York. We have to talk baseball. It's our job, and I know we don't want to talk baseball because if you're
Yeah.
looking at the standings right now, all three of our teams, the Mets, the Yankees, and Phillies, are
why I
off to
spent
a
a solid-
slow start.
Spent a
It's-
solid 3 minutes on the Sixers trying to
Dude,
avoid this.
seriously, yeah, talking, and then we're talking about 10-year-olds working at a McDonald's. It's I'll say it's surprising for all three
yes.
to be where we are right now.
Fair.
It's and it just doesn't. It's not getting any better. I mean, look, dude, the Yankees took 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, which was huge. But then you're dropping dumb game, like you drop 3 of 4 against Texas.
Yeah.
You know, like the series before. So what I will say is I do like I saw a little bit of a spark because for 2 of the 3 games against the Guardians, the Yankees actually came from behind and produced a little bit, and they're a little bit lower scoring games. We're talking 4-2, 4-3 games, but the offense just isn't there, and they're riddled by injuries and you know some things to be concerned about, but it's just too slow of a start that I'll say it that the New York Yankees are used to.
Yeah.
And then, you know, on the other side, you have the Phillies, who again are riddled by injuries, but who nobody would have thought that
be
they'd
2
be
under
struggling.
5.
Right. And then the
Yeah.
Mets too.
Yeah.
I
we're
mean,
500 club right
Verlander
now.
had problems with Detroit yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, look, first inning gave up 2 bombs. After that, nothing. But that's all it took for Detroit to win. Max was awful. Max is, I think the rosin is now in his head, not on his hands. He's got to figure something out. But you know, even SNY was like, "Hey, there's something wrong with Max. Like, it's time to realize." There's something wrong with Max,
Right.
and he's not performing this year. So, yeah, dude, I look at the Yankee situation, and I feel like the record could get worse. You had a great series, like you said, but you're playing with the baby Yankees right now. There's not baby bombers are all over the place. There's not. I mean, Rizzo is the only real hitter you have right now.
Right.
You know,
right.
I saw Gary Sanchez got DFA'd, so maybe he's coming back. Who
it
knows?
would be a desperate grab. It,
would
really
be.
would.
It would be, but you need some bats right now, and you know, you could DH and then you could just DFA him once you're healthy. You know, and I'm looking around, and the one issue, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, is there's a chance that Tampa Bay wins. There's a good chance their 30th game before the Yankees win their 20th.
Insane.
Absolutely insane.
There's no slowing them down.
They got 6 losses on the season. Like the Mets have been shut out 6 times, and the Rays only have 6 losses. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, so the Mets in 32 games, they've been shut out 8 times. For reference, last year they were shut out 8 times the entire year. So yeah, we are not in the Mets are not in good shape right now at all. You know, and then you look at Philly, they're not in good shape, but they just got in really good shape. I mean, you have the World Series lineup essentially is back. Harper. Oh, by the way, that lineup now includes Trey Turner. So like it's crazy. You got Kyle Schwarber now leading off. You know, Trey Turner in the mix, and Bryce Harper's back. Quickest man ever to come back from Tommy John.
They were talking like the end of July when it first happened.
It was
Like,
always.
I don't understand it.
But shout outs to Philly for keeping it under wraps and not. New York would have made any player look bad. Like we do that all the time, New York media. It would have leaked out that, oh, there's a chance he could come back. And God forbid if he had a setback and he couldn't have done it, you know, it would have been on the player, not the team. You know, all these injuries, whether it was Harvey, Noah Syndergaard's Tommy John thing. It was just like the press was too involved in letting people know what was happening. This with Harper was an unbelievable surprise, you know, and people are excited for him to be back. Granted, he hasn't really had his moment yet, but dude, it's so good to see him in that lineup, and hopefully, you know, he hits some this weekend.
You got Boston's coming to town. Starting tonight at 7:05 pitch. You got Wheeler versus Sale. Zach Wheeler versus Chris Sale. That'll be good. It looks like Philly's sitting favored -145. Boston's +125.
I had a brutal Embrace warn me. I was tempting the gods. I was bragging about how I was undefeated and all this other stuff. So I had a brutal powers parlay. like I lost everything except for the fact that one of my parlays got voided because the Mets got rained out again.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah,
Not at all. That's a
So I
win.
didn't- Yeah, you dropped the dub on that parlay. No, but you know, and then I used it the next day and we got swept. The Mets got swept in the doubleheader. So look, man, like it's crazy right now. But the one thing I did say on Powers Parlay is that I think Bryce will hit his first home run at home, and I hope so because you know it will mean that much more for their fan base.
Didn't we do a
Yeah.
Bryce Harper home run bet?
On Father's Day.
Was it Father's Day?
Yeah,
I couldn't
'cause he
remember if
hit
it was
one on
Father's Day
Mother's
or
Day.
Mother's Day. That's
So
what it
last
was.
year he hit it on Mother's Day. So my argument was, and it was first ever show, Juneteenth, and it was our first ever show. And I said, if he didn't hit the home run, then he hated his dad.
You got scratched or you got injured. You didn't
You
even
got a
play.
blister. You got a
That's right.
blister.
My
Yeah.
thumb.
And we made fun of him. Now we
Thumb.
just had Tommy John surgery and he's back in a heartbeat. Literally missed a month of
Yeah.
baseball. Like, because that was the other thing. ESPN did a ranking of 1 month, 2 months.
No,
Or
I
is
was
it-
saying we can go
to
to
tw-
two,
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
yeah.
good. Yeah, we'll keep it going. Sorry.
I'm
I
just sitting
figured
there like,
that's
you're
what
not,
it
no
was.
commercials yet.
No,
We're going to
I
keep
was like,
going.
dude, it's only been a month, but and he's back on the field, which is nuts. But ESPN did ratings of ball clubs and how they rank so far. And what do you think your Yankees got?
Just for ball clubs.
Yeah,
just-
like how they the report card, like ABC.
oh, like
yeah.
we did for like similar to how the NFL went.
Yeah, yeah. 1 month through.
Oh God, man,
Don't kill the messenger.
oh, that's got to be bad now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say 15, number 15.
No, ABC.
Oh, ABC. I thought you were
Yeah.
ranking them from one to
Oh,
whatever.
I got you.
C plus.
D minus.
No.
Might have been a D plus. I
Why?
know it was a D. You got the D.
Hey.
No, it just yeah, look it up. It's on under a paywall. But you know, and the
It
Mets were a B, and I don't agree with that. I think that was like, what are we talking about? You know, and and it was before this Detroit series, you know, and I think the Phillies were like a C minus or C plus actually. So you know, it's way too early. Baseball takes a long time. Some of these teams are going to come back to grace, but you also don't want them getting too far away, and that's my fear with the Rays.
How do the Mets get an A?
Right? No, we got a B.
It says New York Mets A.
Mm,
Oh, you know what?
that's
Egg on my face. That's 2022. We're in 23,
Yeah.
buddy.
I mean,
How
they should
dare
have
you.
gotten an A last year. I agree with that.
Yeah,
All
I
the way
mean,
up till September.
with the way they started.
Yeah. So like, look, like you gotta realize, like, if you're any of these local teams, like, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Go out there, support your team. Maybe you'll get a discount. Maybe the Yankees will do a dollar dog night now. Who knows? But what-
Don't do the dollar dog night. Please don't do the
No.
dollar dog night.
But what I do know is, you know, it's gonna be a fun season. I think, you know, you're really looking at a lot of parity in some of these teams, and you could just roll with it. So, I mean, I don't think the Mets are gonna be less than 500 this year. I think that they're equipped to do that. They better be. They spent a lot of money. I feel like Steve will go out there and get pieces if we need it. My biggest concern is how old our pitching is, and you saw that this weekend how it could affect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, the panic button gets hit in July. We
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about it yet. We can talk as much smack as we want. But we have nothing to worry about. Let's
Yeah.
talk. Speaking of pitching, let's talk Ohtani for a minute.
Mm.
We're not going to put any money in the jar and all that stuff, but
Oh, man.
Ohtani joined. He just hit a milestone. He joined Babe Ruth on the list of players with 500 strikeouts as a pitcher and 100 homers as a hitter.
Yeah, there's two. It's him and
Him
Babe.
and Babe. That's
Which
what I
is
was.
nuts.
End of list.
Yeah,
Which is insane
it's not.
in
Yeah.
the modern game. I mean, when Babe did it, it was just
Yeah.
as impressive.
Mhm.
But I feel like this is just a whole nother level here.
Yeah. I was curious too, because like I was like, I wonder if a guy could sneak onto that list. You know, like a Rick Ankiel or something like that, because he
Hmm.
was a pitcher and then he was a center fielder. But I was like, yeah, you can't. I mean,
500 strikeouts.
500 strikeouts is a lot.
That's
A
insane.
ton. But I saw on social media, speaking of Babe Ruth, like people were asking like what you think his batting average would be if he had to play in today's game.
Oh my God.
I think it's like $1.25. Like,
Yeah.
he's batting 125.
I would say there's no way he's batting his weight, but like
Right,
there's
right.
there's definitely no way
way
he's batting his weight.
weight. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So just one of the things that I wanted to point out to you. But shout out to Otani. I can't wait to see where you play next year.
I was just
Um,
gonna say, and you know, the Angels are, and that's the thing that annoys me the most about all the standings and compare. Like the Yankees right now are a game behind the Rangers, but the Rangers are on top of the AL West. So we've talked divisions before and how that has everything to do with it. But
Yeah.
you know, the Angels are just above 500 right now, and then they're not doing spectacular. But I'm so surprised there's no mumbles yet of any movement at trade deadline, any
Right.
you know, just any speculation at all about where this guy is going.
Yeah.
I'm sure as July approaches, it'll just be
Yeah.
mayhem from the media.
Yeah. I think he gets moved. I do.
Do you think it happens in mid-season?
Yeah, I do. I
Okay.
think so. Even if it's like a rental situation, they're definitely going to do that. Or, you know, maybe somebody's going to offer him a contract. He's not going to test free agency, but you know, I don't know. Or they keep him to try to sell tickets, and then they, you know. But right now, like you said, they're 4 games over 500. They're right in it. You know, you don't know. Maybe they are contenders. Who knows? It's too early to say.
They
Seattle's
also-
underperforming just like the rest of the East Coast. So that should change a little bit because you're seeing guys that are above and below. Speaking of below, the Oakland A's, just so you know, have like similar batting stats to the Yankees. They're like ridiculous.
It is line for line. You're looking at them,
nuts.
and it's
nuts.
so it's unreal, and it is. It's like it's just baseball, man. There's no other way to describe it.
yeah.
A team that has 6 wins has the similar stat lines to
Yeah.
a team that has 17 wins.
Meanwhile, last year Aaron Judge probably had better stat lines than the
Oh
entire
my
Oakland
God.
A's team.
Yeah,
You know, so it's tough. I hope he could come off the DIL like ridiculously quick. Like they put him on
he
the
should.
Yeah, they put him on the 15. Technically, he could come off the 8th,
Mhm.
but I think it's going to be like the 15th or 17th if I had to bet.
That whole you protect your investment.
Yeah,
Like, what are we
that's
doing
What they're
here?
doing.
Like it's just, typical Yankees. Typical Yankees. Let's now take a break, guys. Coming up, you got to stay with us. We're gonna have a short commercial break. We're gonna get into some football action here. The draft happened last week. You'll hear our thoughts. You'll hear a couple things in the news, and of course, we got some more baseball talk for you. We're not done yet. Plus, we got to figure out if that ice cream machine is working.
Yeah.
Catch
figure
us
it out.
next, guys. We'll be right back. The Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.
So if you're on YouTube, you could still hear us.
Oh, is that your polite way of saying don't curse?
Yeah. But right now we're on a commercial break.
I'll take it.
We are pre-recording for tomorrow night.
Bet you didn't know that since we were tricking you all saying
Yeah.
tonight.
But we
instead of
figured
tomorrow.
we'd go live on YouTube. What the heck?
What the heck?
What the heck?
HE double hockey sticks. There's like, actually, you know what, dude? Louisville,
You still got the clock running.
of all people. I know.
Do you?
I'm timing the commercial
Bleeding
break right
out.
now.
Bleeding out.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Which is
jeez.
fine because you could go exactly to 4-5 now, and we'll be fine.
Perfect. Quick math.
Like deep into 4-5, you could do like 4-5-40.
Dude, in Louisville,
Mhm.
the ice cream machine's working.
That's unreal.
And there's 3 right in Louisville. There's one just outside of Louisville where the ice cream machine is not working. Checked an hour ago.
I mean, you gotta assume that if they got their kids working at this place, they better have the floors are probably spotless.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
man.
probably the best McDonald's ever. Like honestly, now that I think about it, like that it's kids, dude, like I would go to any chance I got to go work where my dad worked, I would,
Yeah, man.
you know. So and
That's
like
like
that's
the-
why.
It didn't matter what your dad did. It reminds me of Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, when his
Mhm.
dad is a bathroom attendant. and he's like super embarrassed. But then like they go, yeah, do you remember that movie? That part of it?
No, I didn't see that.
Dad's a bathroom attendant, and he's like embarrassed to talk about it.
Mhm.
But then he eventually like visits his dad in the bathroom, like giving mints and gums to people. Giving gums to people.
Gums.
Let's
That
get back
sounds
to it. You ready?
awful. Yeah. Just hide this. Bring back our thing.
Baseball season normally brings us together, unless you're listening to The Divide. Now, here's Mike and Corey.
I was gonna ask the voice of Bob to like record these, and then like baseball season normally brings us together, unless you're a Yankee fan, and then like beep like Corey.
I want I want him to redo like if our teams keep just headed south, just like
Mhm.
doing terrible. I wanted to be like, ugh,
Get more depressed.
baseball season. Like,
These guys again. Like, yeah, no, I'll talk to Brace, see if we could get some of that.
just
That'd
the
be great.
decline of how our teams are doing. I like baseball season because I'm a big hat guy and I really like the new era of the fitteds and see what like Mother's Day hats coming out. You
Yeah.
got the July 4th, the Father's Day hat, and all that other stuff.
Are you a fitted guy still?
I'm a fitted guy.
Yeah.
I like fitteds.
I like them, but like I said, I tend to leave my hats like around, like
Mhm.
whether it's in the car and then they shrink. So I've become like a snapback guy.
I have a few snapbacks. I don't mind them. I
Mhm.
just to me, there's nothing better than a fitted. Other than the fact that they're like $50 now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I used to think when they were like 35, $36, I used to think that was a lot. Now they're
Yeah.
like 50. I'm like, what, bro, for a hat?
Yeah, yeah.
But of course, I buy them because
Of course, they
cool, why
keep
not? I
making.
mean,
Dude, now they add pins to them too.
I saw that. If you
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yesterday was like 59.50 day or something like that. Or maybe it's all week.
Mhm.
But they were like, if you order a hat, it'll come with this pin. And I'm like, we put pins in hats. Like,
Yeah.
why is this? People wear Crocs. They put like those little plugs or pins in the Crocs. And
Yeah.
then you got people that work at like TGI Fridays or Disney that put pins everywhere along like their badge and their suspenders. Like, is this just the pin world that we're living in?
Yes, like Flair. Yeah, I don't know.
Flair?
Disney. They
Ric
trade-
Flair's the
they
only Flair I
trade
know.
you
Yeah, that's what
trade
I'm
pins
saying. I
at
think
Disney.
You know,
Yeah.
I know I bash Disney a lot, and
Mhm.
I apologize. I don't apologize to you. I can't apologize. I was gonna say I apologize sincerely if you're an adult that loves Disney, but
Okay.
like, there's just nothing weirder to me than when I'm like weirder. It's the nice way of saying it right now. Like, there's just nothing weirder to me than like looking at another adult walk up to an adult walk up to another adult and be like, "Hey, can I see your pins? Want to trade?" I don't know, collections for whatever. Anyway, I probably
Yeah.
offended a group of Disney people that
Probably.
from Philadelphia.
Hashtag Disney.
Back to
Uh,
hats. So New Era has a signature, like a cap signature. They call it the cap signature size 59.50 fitted,
It's ridiculous.
and it's so dumb, you guys. If you go over to the New Era, we're definitely not going to be sponsored by New Era. If you go to
It's 2 weeks in a
neweracap.com,
row.
go to the New Era cap signature size 59.50. It's literally the number of your hat size stitched on the hat. So you can walk around with a black New Era cap, and like I wear 7 1/4, and
Mhm.
it's just a big 7 1/4 on it, and that way you can tell everybody how big your dumb head is.
Yeah, would be better if like you had a really tiny head and like you were able to get one that said 7 3/4, but really like you're rocking a 6.2. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would be awesome. Like you could just lie.
It's
Uh,
like they're like, I don't know, man. I'm not comfortable with people knowing my head size. Is that
That's weird.
weird?
That's weird.
I know it's first of all, it's weird that you would wear it on the outside. It's
Mhm.
like if you were to wear your t-shirt, it's like if you were to wear like a t-shirt that said
Right.
large or extra large on it just around
We
it. It's like,
should sell a
we
shirt
should
that
do
just
that.
says large.
we should, man. We'll pitch it to New Era. They would buy that right up, bro. Yeah. T-shirt,
Oh.
or how about underwear size? How about that?
Ah.
Like, come on, guys. What do we like? I want to know in New Era. I want to know what your sales are like for this. Like, who? That's not a flex. I mean, I know there's a relation or some sort of
Mhm.
correlation between like head size and intelligence.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I
Oh,
wasn't thinking the other
intelligence?
thing. That's hand
'Cause
size.
that was a hand size. Is
Hand
it?
size
No, that's
and-
not true.
and things like, yeah, they say
That
there's a
is
direct
not
correlation.
true. That
I'm
is
saying
not
there
true.
is. You just saying that because you have tiny hands?
No, I'm not saying that 'cause I have tiny. Well, I know it's not true.
I'm just.
That's funny.
It's just a weird flex. Like I don't know why you would want to wear a hat that said the hat size.
jerk.
Yeah, sorry, bro. You left yourself out. You did this.
Yeah.
You did this, not me.
All right.
So if you guys want to spend $46 just advertising what your hat size is, go over to New Era and check them out. They actually do have a lot lot of good drops. For
Now I
baseball.
need pants with my size on it.
Yeah,
To
dude,
prove a
seriously. And we
point.
doing? Are we doing inseam? Are we doing
Yeah.
waist size? Like you gotta.
See,
Pants are gonna be tricky.
Yeah.
Pants are always gonna be tricky.
take your pants off. It's got the
Oh
measurements
my
on your boxers.
God.
Oh, jeez.
Speaking of pants off,
No,
this
I
is
don't
gonna be a
wanna speak of
terrible
pants
segue.
off.
Terrible segue.
All right.
Jackson Mahomes.
Oh no.
Can we listen? First of all,
Just put him in jail.
first of all, yes, he's a 22-year-old kid. And this is getting a lot of attention because it should. He did something very, very bad. But I would just like to point out, you did this, everybody. You all did this when you followed him on TikTok and you liked his stupid videos. He did a string of stupid stuff, and it's from everything from him just being obnoxious and throwing water on people to defending his brother. Like it's just dancing. What's his name?
Mhm.
Oh God,
dancing on like somebody's
on
yeah.
Sean Taylor. Sean,
Yeah,
thank you, from
yeah.
the Washington football team or the
Awful.
whatever they are now. The
No, that's fine. That's better than what they are. right
seriously,
now.
the Commanders. Dancing
Oh,
on Sean
Commanders.
Taylor's memorial logo, like just a string of dumb events, and it's never been addressed publicly by Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes is to blame for this sexual assault incident. And
No,
first of all,
course not.
I don't care what lawyer you have, Jackson Mahomes. His lawyer put out a statement of like, we reviewed the evidence and we can assure you that he did nothing wrong and there's no case here. You saw the video,
That was
right?
aggressive. Yeah.
You saw the
yeah,
videos everywhere. It's
yeah,
insane. He comes up from behind her and
uh-huh.
grabs her face to kiss it, which
Yeah.
first of all, is so awkward.
so weird. It's not even the way
Weird.
you would.
And she straight up puts her hand like or tries to in
Yeah,
front of her
it's
face.
so
And they
creepy.
you see they have like an awkward exchange.
Mhm.
And then like we're like, oh, that was weird. Maybe he misread a signal and then
And
it's
then he
still,
does it
still
again.
wrong. And he does it again. He does it again.
Oh, I'm not
all-
laughing. I'm laughing out of the stupidity.
No,
Like,
I know.
and
But
I'd
first
beat
of
the
all, and then
crap out of him if
sexual assault
I
aside,
was the dad.
if you look at the video, like where are you? It looks
Where
like they're
are they?
drinking
They-
in the back
in,
room
like,
of the
back
restaurant.
room of like a manager's office,
yeah, it
right? Like it's weird,
does.
like a mortgage.
It
firm,
probably does. Yeah, it probably is.
right.
Which
Which
makes
is
the whole
weird,
situation
too.
even
Like,
weirder. I
yeah.
mean, even if she was like, "Hey, let's go in the back office and chill," that gives him no right to do what he did.
I just wish it,
super awkward, dude.
even though it'd be boring, like I would like to see the long footage, the whole encounter, everything.
Yeah, no,
but even
I mean,
either
and
way,
that's probably the best part of it, or the best
Right.
part. You know what I mean? That's probably like the
Mhm.
most informative part of it
Mhm.
is that, and it probably just they left or whatever, but
Mhm.
still super awkward. I know there's
Very awkward.
diehard Chiefs fans that are like, she's just trying to get a payday. It's like, well, no, she was definitely assaulted. She's going to get a payday out of
Yep.
it. That's absolutely true. But that's because you have your superstar quarterback that's on par for like what, a $500 million extension.
Yeah.
And he had a brother. And here's my point: is if you have a brother,
I do.
I have brothers.
Yes.
If we were to do something publicly stupid,
yeah.
our brothers publicly
Let's
would
smack-
denounce. They would be like,
Yeah.
yeah, he did something awful. You better believe I'm taking care of this. You won't hear from it. Like that
Mhm.
should have happened when he was throwing water on fans.
Yeah.
When he was just acting a fool on the sideline. When
Yeah.
him and his wife, when Patrick Mahomes' wife, and when Brittany and Jackson were going around yelling at people, when he's dancing on Sean Taylor's memorial logo. Like Patrick Mahomes
There's a
needed to
list of this.
publicly
Agreed.
yell at his brother, whether like it's bad for your brand, bro. Like you're making money playing football. He is going to ruin that for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're not going to be able to play football for the actions of your brothers, but you're not going to get endorsed, dude.
Yo, but the other thing is too, like, imagine being super successful to the point where the Mahomes family doesn't have to worry about money for the rest of their lives. Their dad was a professional baseball player. Granted, salaries weren't what they were then, but now Patrick Mahomes makes a ton of money.
100%.
And it like close to $1 billion, right?
should.
So, and as he should with endorsements and everything, he's great at his craft. Imagine as his brother, like talking to your brother, like, yo, dude, literally, you don't need to be on TikTok.
Mhm.
I got you for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
You don't need to worry about a meal. You don't need to worry about a house. You could coast for the rest of your life. All you got to do is shut up.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Just stay out
Yeah.
of any spotlight. You don't
Yeah.
even have to go out to restaurants, bro.
Yeah,
We have
that's
enough
it.
money to DoorDash whatever you want.
Right, exactly.
And that's the thing. Like, and
Just
that
hunker
conversation
down.
may have happened. Like,
Yeah.
this could be how much of an idiot this kid is. And
Agreed.
yes, he's a kid,
He's a
but
kid.
he's 22 years old. He's old
Getting
enough to
old.
know
It's getting
better.
late early.
But it's
Yeah.
like he could have been like, look, man, I have millions of dollars. What are you passionate about? Let's get you in your own business and your own startup. And he could have
No.
been like, I just want to dance on
There's
TikTok.
one McDonald's with
I
10-year-old
just
kids
want to
running
dance on
there.
TikTok. You're a professional athlete. I gotta,
I'm
you
a
know,
dancer.
you're like, come on, dude. So
Oh,
dumb.
man.
I hope he just goes away forever. And
Uh-huh.
and I don't mean like locked up forever.
Oh, jail. He should go to jail.
No, no.
He's
well,
gotta go to
I didn't
jail,
mean
right?
forever for jail.
I thought
think
you
he
meant
should
like
get
in
jail
general.
time.
You meant in general. Like,
Yeah, like get off social media, not like
Oh,
die or anything. I
yeah.
mean, like get off
That's how
social.
I took
No,
it.
no,
That's
no,
how I
no.
took it. Oh,
No.
he goes away forever.
He should go away. I just don't want to see his face anymore. And it's not. I'm not crazy on social media. You know, every now and when I am, I sure don't have the algorithm. That's a lie. I'll have the algorithm story pops up because I follow sports people. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But speaking of algorithms and social media, guys, don't forget to check us out on our socials.
Ooh.
There's a segue for you. Divide Live on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Interact with us. We will interact back with you. It's a surprise.
Maybe.
Maybe. But drop a like, drop a follow, drop a comment. Not in that order because that wouldn't make sense, but you know what I mean. And then we'll interact back with you. And of course, we have giveaways, YouTube Live, and all that jazz is what's going on right now. So check us out and interact. That's what we like to see. And that's that. Speaking, I can't. I lost the segue. I was going to say speaking of whatever. Let's talk Tom Brady. He's retired.
He is retired.
We know that he's retired, and he had this cushy $375 million Fox analyst contract lined up. Now, reports from yesterday, less than 24 hours ago, came out that the 7-time Super Bowl champion could walk away from his $375 million deal. Sources close to the former quarterback said that they think, this particular source, there's a 49% chance that he actually does the analyst job. There's 51% chance that he walks away from it, that he walks away from
coin flip.
$375 million. Now, Tom Brady is not a man that needs money.
Right.
So we have to ask ourselves, what would force him to walk away from an insane amount of money that anybody would love to have in their lifetime? And you got to remember, he's a divorced man now.
Mm.
He splits time with the kids.
Mhm.
There would be a lot of travel with this job, but only because he's Tom Brady.
Right.
Troy Aikman, Joe Buck, they show up the day of,
Yep.
the morning of, they cram, they do their job, they go home.
He's not.
Tom Brady is not. When he's in it, he's in it 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why Fox wanted him to start as early as the Super Bowl,
Right.
or do some sort of coverage for that, because I don't think that it wasn't
Kind of
Fox
like
that
what they
carried.
did with Jeter.
Yeah. Did Fox carry the
it
Super Bowl this
did.
year? Yeah.
Yep, it
So
did.
they wanted him to start as early as the Super Bowl, but Tom actually wants to wait. He wants to wait longer. He doesn't want to start until 2024 because he wants to make sure that he's good at being this TV
Yeah,
personality.
it makes sense. Dude.
And you don't want to jump into, and of course, he doesn't want to take a lot of criticism, and he's a perfectionist. That's why he was able to last as long as he did in the game. But he wants to give 100%, but the travel time and being away from his kids would be enough for him to really feel like maybe he doesn't want to be doing this.
And here's the other thing: like, you could argue he could get a different type of deal from somewhere else, where it's more of a part-time gig, but
Right.
maybe half the money,
Right.
and still worth it because like it's value versus time versus dollar,
Right.
right? So yeah, I think there's another offer on the table. Like, if
You think so?
somewhere, it could be a podcast, it could be anything. I know
Well, he's
he
already
does.
got the
Right.
the-
But I'm just saying, like, in general, it could be his own Brady cast or something, So
the
um,
Brady cast.
yeah, which I like the Manning cast. I don't like the K-Rod thing. I gave it another shot.
Well, if it was A-Rod and somebody else, it's Michael K that
it
ruins
is
the
Michael K
K-Rod.
that ruins it.
If it was
Yeah.
A-Rod and Jeter, A-Rod and
Mhm.
insert
Anybody.
and literally anybody that
David
played professional
Ortiz,
baseball,
Ryan
You know what I
Howard
mean?
would be
Right.
great. Yeah.
but not Michael K, not a journalist who's covered baseball for 30 years. And it's nothing against Michael K. He's good at being
It's just not a funny
a broadcaster.
Right.
He's just, when you're watching that raw of when they're in that raw of an environment where you have like the Manning cast where it's two former players and they're talking about the plays they're calling, the defenses they're reading, like, you know what I mean?
No,
You're not watching it for the play by play. And I think a
No.
lot, like, as you know, as a sports fan, I don't need to play, but I could watch it on mute. Like, I was
Yeah.
FaceTiming my parents on Wednesday, and the Devil game was on in the background. Thing was on mute, and I'm just sitting there just
Yeah,
watching. Like, I
Kay-
don't need to know. Like, we watch our professional sports teams every day. We don't need to know who's got the puck or who's being thrown the ball or what offense they're running. Trust me, we know.
it had to be Michael K's idea to create the K-Rod show.
Yeah,
And also he's on ESPN radio too.
right.
So I'm sure that had something to do with it. And also I heard he's not even number 3 now in New York. He's not, I know he's definitely number 2, losing to the guys over Craig Carton and
Oh, yeah.
Evan. But yeah, they
I'm a fan.
definitely, yeah. They definitely I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. It'd be funny if they like were friends for life or something like that, or like, oh, when I was coming up, like Michael K, did this for me. But there's no like the Manning cast works because they're brothers,
Right.
and
they laugh, they joke, they
yeah,
bust chops.
yeah.
Alex Rodriguez and Michael K don't have that. They're
No.
professional acquaintances.
That's
You
exactly
know what
right.
I mean? Like,
Hey,
Michael
remember
K,
when I called your games?
right?
Like that's
Alex Rodriguez gets in a
Yeah.
private jet. Michael K maybe flies first class every
No.
now and then.
See ya.
Like, it's just see ya, upper deck. Oh no, that was John Sterling.
That's great.
But it's the Manning cast is where it's at. I could see Tom doing something like that, or at least joining and making that a little bit bigger. Manning cast,
Yeah.
and he was on that. I want to say he was on the Manning cast because I think they were
Or like
busted his
even like
chops about-
pre-shows from his house or something. I'm sure there's other avenues that he's going to make revenue, like without a doubt. But also he doesn't need to. He's got his TV12. He's got all this money. He already put his family through that, with a
right, and
reality show.
that was the other argument was
go
like
enjoy
he
life.
doesn't need any of this. This was
Right.
literally thrown at him.
Yeah.
And I think I speak for anybody. I don't care how much money you have. If they're like, would you like 375 more to talk about the game that you just played the last 20 years
Right.
of your life, or
Uh-huh.
at least professionally the last 20
Yeah,
years of your
you're
life?
gonna say yes.
You're not going to turn that down at
Mm,
all.
No.
But it's just, it's crazy how this is unraveling. You might be onto something with this other offer or something else in the works. I mean,
No.
I'm sure he's got a whole marketing team that can.
I called it that Jeter was going in the broadcasting.
You
know?
did.
I
You did.
I
Pat
did.
yourself on the back. You
I will.
definitely did.
I will.
You definitely did. Were you surprised by anything with the draft? I wasn't.
The NFL draft.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
last week.
Yeah, just the Eagles. Cleaned house, but
Yeah,
also got the
we briefly
entire
talked about that
Georgia-
last week, but even like over the weekend, did anything really
nothing crazy.
same?
But
There was nothing that like happened in rounds 2 through whatever where I was like, oh
Yeah.
man, this is gonna be interesting.
yesterday's news was Jessica Alba, Sauce Gardner, and Aaron
Aaron
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Yeah, Sauce apparently didn't know who Jessica Alba was.
How do you
Uh,
not know? who
I
Jessica
don't
Alba
know,
is, man?
dude. That's silly to me. That's silly because she was
is fantastic.
yeah, and that could have been your first memory as a 6-year-old, and you would still be like, she is fantastic. So I get it, he's young, but she was around, and so was her movies. Like it's not like I don't know. That's crazy.
Her move. So what? I'm trying to think if she's done anything recently.
She was in that the Watchmen, right? Wasn't she the dancer in the Watchmen? Yeah, she was. Yeah, she definitely was.
The Watchmen.
Yeah, who watches the Watchmen? It's a Marvel. Actually, it's not a Marvel. It's its own comic.
She was in she was in that dance movie. I think it was called Honey. She was in the Fantastic Four.
Mhm.
She was film.
That's where we need Jansen. This should have been a Tuesday segment.
She played herself in Knocked Up. I didn't know that.
That's great.
Let's see. No, I don't see Watchmen. Sin City. She was in Sin City. That's
my
what
bad,
it was.
my
Yeah.
bad, yeah,
No, yeah, and that was like Marvel-esque. I think that was like a comic book.
yeah.
Comic.
Kamek,
The comic book,
the
comic book.
Kameks.
She was in a lot, but man, she was great. I mean, and this goes all the way back to like 1994 was her film debut, and that was like she was
Mm-hmm.
like a teenager, I guess. But yeah, Honey in 2003, that was like her big breakout role. And
That was a terrible one. You're just like
Honey.
Yeah.
Well, that was the one. I mean,
like no plot.
no, is it one of those dancing movies? But it was Jessica Alba, man. I mean, what,
I know,
what
I
do you
know.
want to do? So yeah, they were all at the Knick game. Jessica Alba, her girlfriend, Sauce Gardner, and Aaron Rodgers, and
Yeah.
apparently Sauce was introduced, had no idea who she was.
Right.
And then that clip was at a Jets press conference, and then she clapped back on Twitter, saying how smooth he was and the things he was talking about. But the best part about it is they were ragging on Aaron Rodgers the whole time. She called Aaron Rodgers your elder. But by the way, I want to say Alba's older than Aaron Rodgers. I think
She doesn't look it.
no,
though. Yeah.
Jessica Alba, you guys.
I'm worried Rodgers' eyes are gonna pop out of his head. Like, you ever notice that? I never noticed that until like more recently. His one eye looks like it's gonna pop out.
You know, here's what worries me. Aside from the eye dilemma,
I got squeezed. Ching.
he's on the press tour, man. He was at the Ranger game. He was at Game 6 of
He's
the
enjoying
Stanley.
New York.
Now
yeah.
he's in at the Knick game. Like, those are
Now
amenities you
he's
couldn't
in
really
New
enjoy in
York.
Green Bay. But what
Yeah.
are we gonna do here? Like, is he still gonna be loved if they're
I'm laughing.
6 and 10
it's-
and
It's been cold May, right? But I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
thinking of him in tank tops and shorts because like he's used to Green Bay.
Yeah.
He's just like,
like
yeah.
what's this guy? This guy's gonna sweat more than he's ever sweat before in his life.
Yo, he's after the game, he looks at Sauce. He's like, "Hear me out. Let's go out. Let's go out and let's turn all the lights out and sleep on the arena floor." Like, I don't know, just something crazy, dude.
Dark
Uh,
vacation. It's gonna be a little weird, but
Oh,
trust me, bro.
That's great.
Oh man. All right, guys. We'll be back next week. We'll talk a lot more baseball. Obviously, don't forget to check out Powers Parlay every Tuesday, 7 p.m. 6 p.m.
Yeah.
That's right, 6 p.m. 6 p.m. And then take a look at our watch parties. They will be popping up all over the place. Hopefully, the next one for the Sixers will be a little bit
No,
and a little bit better.
working on when the Mets and Phillies play. We're gonna do one.
Ooh, yeah.
with Slash and maybe Jansen
I'm in.
and our team.
I'm in.
I know.
All right, guys. Have a good week. We'll be back next week. This was the Divide Live on Fox Sports The Gambler.